Men who like to keep their morning routine simple will love these multi-for-him gummies, specially formulated with 12 key nutrients designed to support men's daily nutritional needs. Nature-made multi-for-him gummies help support muscle and bone health. It improves your immune health, and it increases your energy metabolism. With the quality you can trust, nature-made multi-for-him gummies have no artificial flavors, no synthetic dyes, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, and is gluten-free. Pharmacists around the world have recommended Nature Made to be the #1 vitamin and supplement brand. So when you need something that's going to help you get you through the day, when you need something that's going to increase your energy to help you get you through that workout, to make you perform as an elite athlete at the top of your ability, try Nature Made multi-for-him gummies, because you don't want to stop
to the 12th round. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the man who likes to beat up daddies in the back alley and your mama's favorite wrestler. This is your boy, Roosevelt, and you already know I love to fight. And with me, we have a new guest on the show today. He's going to help us out. He just may be a new addition to the team. We'll see how well he does today. You ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you my man, my homie, my homeboy, my friend, Christian Rainey. Christian, welcome to the show, bro.
Thanks for having me. This is actually very exciting for me to be on this side of the podcast. Like this is very exciting. Thank you for having me.
No. Thank you. So, little rundown, let the people know who you are, what you represent, what you've been doing, and who do you think is the greatest wrestler of all time, and why is it me?
Well, a little bit about me is I was part of a wonderful platform for social media with pro wrestling called Good Guy Bad Pants, which is now known as Bad Pants Media. I was with that for a very long time, where I got awesome opportunities with United Pro Wrestling to do some booking, to do some creative, to do some commentary, and it got me thinking about starting my own promotion, which is, we're doing the thing, guys. It's very exciting. And like, I just, wrestling for me growing up was just my favorite thing because my dad is a theater teacher. So I grew up loving theater, but I grew up loving sports. And it's really this happy gray area that always brought me such joy. And to be able to give a platform for other people to have that joy, like that's what it's about. And my favorite wrestler of all time, that's Arn Anderson. Without a doubt. Best promo ever.
Absolutely. I can feel that. I can definitely appreciate that. Old Arn Anderson is definitely one of the greatest, and I've had an opportunity to hang out with old Arn a couple of times and, kind of get his little feedback on different things. But today, we're talking wrestling, people. We have been off we've been off the grid for a while because everybody's been busy. Brian take care of family things. OLP is taking their things in the modeling industry. Chef is cooking something up really amazing for the world, for everybody to get fit and fat. Fit and fat is what we trying to do around here. I'm the one that's being fit, and the rest of the guys are being fat. But we're going to talk about wrestling today. We're going to talk about a couple of different things. We're going to let Christian jump in and do his thing. I'm going to do my thing, and we're going to get started today. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know it's Brian's favorite segments.
Ooh.
Hot topics.
Hot topics. I'm ready. Look at that at the screen. The production over here has to be by Nature Made Multi for him gummies. I mean, I that's why the production is so good. It is that commercial at the beginning, man. Amazing. Uh-huh. I mean, it made me. It's already in my Amazon cart. I'm ready to go. Just like everyone else should get Nature Made Multi for him gummies.
And multi for her. We can't discriminate against the women. You go get your multi for her and multi for him gummies. That way you can feel better, look better, and be as strong.
We can do our best. We can do our best. But hot topics, I'm very excited. Let's do it.
Right, hot topics. So we have the next PLE. I was getting ready to say pay-per-view, but it's not pay-per-view anymore. It's PLE.
That's premium. Hard. That's hard to get used to, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Next thing that's coming up is Summerslam, the greatest party of the summer. Summerslam. It seems to me it's getting later and later in the summer every year, though.
Yeah, and summer feels that way too, right? It always feels like it's later and later. And SummerSlam, like, to me, I work in the school system. The summer's over, guys.
It's already over.
Like, it's right here. There's no, you don't end the summer with a slam. You got to start the way that way.
Exactly, and that's the way it's always been. As far as I can remember, SummerSlam has always been like in May, early.
I think that's right.
I think they put too many PLEs together, so that way everything is kind of spaced out. But we have an amazing card coming up, and one match I would like to talk about in general, speaking of, pun intended, is the Ring General Gunther against Damian Priest for the World Championship title. What is your opinion on this match, Christian? Are you excited about this match?
I'm conflicted. I am very conflicted because I think Gunther is among the best wrestlers in the world. I think his Intercontinental title run, I mean, you can't be overstated how impressive that was and just how significant it was for, like, the history of wrestling. He's incredible. But Damian Priest has been amazing lately. He's been on such a good run that it's one of those, both guys' momentum are huge. I can't see a world where Gunther loses. I can't see a world where he loses because we've only seen it, like 2 or 3 times in 5 years?
Absolutely.
But Damian Priest, this is the run of his life. So it's one of those, I don't know what direction they're going to go in or if there's going to be some tomfoolery involved because they love some tomfoolery up in the E. But, I mean, I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be a great match. I feel bad for Damian Priest's chest come Sunday morning. But you probably know a little bit more about that than I do. What are your thoughts on this match? And do you think they're going to pull the trigger on Gunther and do the dang thing?
Well, here's the thing. I think Damian Priest have done an exceptional job with the world title. Exceptional. I think they need to pull the trigger on Gunther, just not right now. I think it's
Okay.
a little too fresh. I mean, he's just come off that Intercontinental run, so I think it's still a little too fresh for him to jump from IC to world title. However, in the past, that's what always what the path was. The
Mm-hmm.
path for the Intercontinental Championship is to get you towards the main card title, the heavyweight title or the world title. So I don't know. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of conflicted on which way they're going to go because again, is he still kind of fresh off this Intercontinental title run, which was an amazing run, but again, that's what the whole premise was of winning the Intercontinental title, is that you would go and fight for the main title, and then more than likely you would win. But there's a lot of controversy and a lot of things going on within the Judgment Day.
Oh, it's been fun. It's been great TV. That reminds me a lot, more so of my childhood watching wrestling, more so than the wrestling of the last 10 years. It's been a lot of fun.
Right, and I think that may play a factor in this whole title match because we got the whole Damian Priest and Finn Balor rivalry going on that everyone's saying, oh, it's nothing wrong. No, there's something wrong within the Judgment Day. Absolutely something wrong. But we'll see what's going to happen this Saturday. Showtime is at 7 p.m., I believe.
That sounds right. It's
7 p.m.
7 p.m. and it sounds great. And if we can segue right over to another Judgment Day match, we got Rhea Ripley challenging it, getting her rematch for the Women's Championship against Liv Morgan, who is on one of those runs that's just like when organically something happens and everything works, and you can tell that this isn't like these segments might be scripted, but it's scripted with the talent in collaboration, because this has more personality to it than anything I've seen Liv Morgan do. And she seems so confident, more so than she's ever been. And this angle, great angle. Dominic Mysterio, the most hated man in wrestling, but it's such a good angle. Like, it has me really into it, and it has the internet buzzing, which is all you want, is that reaction, and it's getting that reaction.
Absolutely. And one thing that we always say is that you want to bring reality and personal stuff into professional wrestling every now and then. And with the whole thing with Rhea Ripley and her personal life and Liv Morgan and all connected it all into the wrestling thing, it's definitely been beneficial for Liv Morgan. Will Dominic play a factor in this match? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He has to play a factor in this match. Now, what does the E do? Do we keep the title on Liv Morgan? Yes.
Yes, you absolutely do.
Keep the belt on Liv Morgan. Let Dominic make the mistake. Dominic has to make the mistake for Rhea Ripley to lose. And then she has to get rid of Dom. And that could be the whole implosion of the Judgment Day. I think something like that is going to cause the big rift, kind of what's the Minnesota fault or something like that, or the thing that they separating them. That's what's going to happen with them. That's what's going to happen.
So if I could sit in a Booker chair real quick, here's what I would do. And of course, they could do this. They could do 1,000 different things. I would not make it a mistake by Dominic. I would make it intentional by Dominic. That this is his moment to break away, to side with Liv. And also, I think in this same night, Finn is going to turn on Damian Priest, and we're going to get a new Judgment Day. We're going to get a brand new Judgment Day. You're going to have Finn Balor being the leader, as he should be, because Finn Balor thrives in that role. You're going to give Liv Morgan, you're going to get Dominic Mysterio, and you're going to get JD McDonough and this new Judgment Day. Maybe call it something new. I don't know. But from there, you split Damian from Rhea as well. They can do their own thing. Damian can go on this babyface run. Rhea can chase. And who knows? Maybe have a match with Dominic. I think that would be money. But that's how I would handle it. I would do a complete flip it on its head. Use SummerSlam to do it when everyone is watching, because I think it's great. But I also want, like, in my head, I really wanted this match to be a custody of Dominic match. 'Cause I would really love for them to run that back. But maybe that's the kid in me talking more so than anything else.
Absolutely. And you know what? I do like the idea of Dom versus Rhea Ripley because it rewinds back to Eddie Guerrero versus China.
Yes.
Y'all remember how that match went. But it's gonna be a different feel if that happens. You know, it's gonna be a whole Dom is not gonna really care about having a match where Eddie Guerrero cared about being in a match with China. But I like that. I like that aspect. Do we need a new Judgment Day? I don't think so.
No. I think we can call it close on the Judgment Day. The great stories came out of it. I think here's where you do a clean split. Maybe call it something else, or don't call it anything. But I think a new group is forming here, and I think Finn Balor will be at the top of it because everyone kind of forgets his challenging of Seth for that world title going into last year. And I think that's going to be the ultimate callback is he wanted that belt more than anything in the world, and he was the closest to get it outside of Damian, who only got it because of Money in the Bank.
Absolutely. And then speaking of Seth Rollins is going to be the guest referee for the match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. This match has the makings of a pure fight. Now, here's the thing. If these guys don't get in the ring and just start throwing punches and kicks, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, it needs to be a slugfest. It needs to be a fight.
Be right off the bat, throwing punches, haymakers, whatever, because they have made this very, very personal. Very personal. And it needs to be a whole just straight out fight.
And hats off to Drew McIntyre for carrying a feud with someone who's been injured for 6 months, 7 months, and it never feeling like, oh, they're not going to be able to do whatever. No, at all times it has felt like, even if it was a predictable moment, there's been a great reaction to it and it feels genuine. And it kind of does that great wrestling thing where it blurs the line of, do these guys hate each other? Because it very much does feel like there is true animosity there. And Seth Rollins is the special guest ref here, and he said on Monday Night Raw that maybe he calls DQ, maybe it's up to his discretion. Maybe he just, we don't know what we're going to get out of him. I think there's no situation where Seth isn't a part of the decision of this match. But I don't see him siding with either guy. So maybe Seth is just going to take them both out. I don't know. But CM Punk, obviously great. You can't, it goes without saying how great he is, but he is coming off an injury here. So I'm kind of curious if they're going to do the classic, let's find the crowd for a bit. Let's not do too much in the ring as to kind of protect if he's still a little hurt. But I mean, him being able to come back this fast has to be because of Nature Made multi gummies, right?
It's gotta be.
Okay.
He's been watching the show. He's been watching the show.
I mean, without a doubt, that's how you can recover faster than anyone else, just like CM Punk going into this match with Drew McIntyre. Who do you think wins this match?
The fans. If they do it right, the fans win this match. Okay?
I was thinking that in my head, and you said it. That's amazing.
Absolutely. And because the biggest thing for me is that CM Punk this is his first match since Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Yeah, CM Punk has not even been in the ring. Well, unless on some live shows. He's done some house shows or whatever. But on TV, he has not been on the ring on TV since Royal Rumble. So that could be a factor. We will definitely see. I could definitely see some situations happen where both men inadvertently or blatantly put their hands on Seth Rollins at some point during the match, just to antagonize him. I could see CM Punk. I mean, not CM Punk, but Seth Rollins doing the thing that The Rock used to do when he was special guest referee. He didn't like two of the competitors. He would always just halfway count. Page out of Dean Ambrose's book. sit there and start counting and start answering on his phone, or get out the ring and start taking pictures. But I don't want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I don't want to see that because I don't want it to take away from the feud and the actual fire that they have between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. If you're going to have a situation where Seth Rollins is going to do something outside of the realms of what he's supposed to do of his role as a referee, let those two gentlemen inadvertently hit him some kind of way, let him get involved in it, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, I don't see this match having a winner at all. I think there's gonna be tomfoolery, and that's gonna be the go-to word on this show. But I mean, what I would love Seth to do is she calls it right down the middle until about the finish, and then he starts messing around a little bit, and then we're off to the races and big DQ, big pull apart, and maybe next POE do a triple threat. I don't know, but these guys' stories are so attached to the hip of each other since WrestleMania, and it's just exciting to see where it goes because Punk and McIntyre is the first feud in a long time that feels like, oh, we could go 4, 5, 6 months of matches between these guys, and no one would be mad.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play devil's advocate. I could see AJ Lee getting involved in this.
Ooh, I love that.
That would be crazy because you got to remember, Drew McIntyre still has the bracelet. Mm-hmm. So I could see AJ Lee getting involved, and then that could segue still with Seth and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre because, Drew has always said that Seth is a backstage player or a background actor to Becky Lynch. So we can see how that all plays out. Speaking of Becky Lynch, where has she been? Is she on injury?
Okay, so the story there, as reported by the Pro Wrestling Observer, is that her contract ran out. She didn't re-sign. She's taken some time away. All signs point to that when she comes back, she'll sign back with them.
Okay.
Given Seth being there. But Tony Khan is a madman with that ATM man. It's like in the 1990s, Eric Bischoff was known as ATM Eric. So I would not be shocked if some tomfoolery happened there. But that is where she has been. And AJ Lee has been reportedly saying that she does not want to wrestle, but no one said she has to wrestle she can still be a factor here. And I think, honestly, since you said that, I would be disappointed if she didn't show up.
Right. Absolutely. And look, she don't even got to bring the dog. Just come by herself. Let the dog stay home. Get a dog sitter.
Keep Larry away from a fight, please.
Right. Speaking of dogs, we got the big dog, the newest big dog, Braun Breaker, taking on Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. In my opinion, straight off the bat, Braun Breaker needs to take the belt.
He needs to win here. An argument could have been made that he should have won at the last time he challenged for it. And how they got out of that was great. Played just Sammy's character. They handled that very well. But Sammy was always going to be a transitional champion here, which is unfortunate because I didn't agree with the call of WrestleMania for him to beat Gunther. I didn't know what the answer was. Maybe it was Chad Gable. I did not think it was Sami Zayn. But Sammy needs to lose here. He needs to lose clean. And Breaker just needs to then go on this generational run we all know he can have.
Absolutely. I can see Jey Uso chasing Braun Breaker. Now, that could be the transition that Sami Zayn could probably be preparing for. Him dropping the belt to Braun Breaker getting over the top, and he's beating down Sami Zayn, and that could be why they did this whole tag team with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso last Monday on Monday Night Raw. So we'll see how that all plays out. Does Braun Breaker just beat him immediately, or does this kind of play out?
I think it has to play out because like, this is the kind of match I would have open a show, where you let Sami Zayn do his great super indie kind of match that really gets the fan going, and Breakker can have that kind of match but still look strong. But I think that's one of those, you got to start the show with a defining, like, oh, this show's going to be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Which I am here for, and I think will be very exciting. But given that Chad Gable was so attached to the IC title situation of the last 4 or 5 months, I'm kind of curious if the Wyatt Six is going to be involved in this show at all. I think they have to be, because Bray Wyatt is so synonymous with SummerSlam that you got to give them that moment to do something. But I don't know what, because their stuff is incredible, but I don't know how it works sometimes presentationally and storytelling wise that you can have the rest of the show still happen when they show up.
Absolutely. And there's really nobody for them to really attack. They've been so attached to Chad Gable and the Creed brothers that is no real reason for them to be there. But you are right. They are synonymous with SummerSlam with Bray Wyatt. So I guess that remains to be seen. Speaking of them, really quick, even though they're not on the pay-per-view, where do you see this whole entire thing going with them and the Creed brothers and Chad Gable? I mean, it's pretty confusing right now because we still haven't figured out why it is that they're targeting Chad Gable.
Well, if you want to get really in the weeds of the Wyatt lore, very much early on in those awesome promo packages where he is interviewing himself. He talked about that nothing is more despicable than someone who turns against their family and abuses their family. And that's what Chad Gable did with the Alpha Academy. And I think that's where this roots from.
Okay.
And where I see it going is Chad Gable is just going to get eaten. Like, but their presentation is incredible. Like, it transcends wrestling for me. Like this is out of not just a horror movie, but like a well-produced Blumhouse movie. Like just, it's incredible. And like, I love this last week on Raw that they took off the masks. I've been waiting for them to do it because as soon as they did that, okay, now they can be wrestlers. Now we're establishing that these are those guys and we can have matches. And Dexter Lumis looks like a crazy person. He looks unrecognizable and I love it.
He looks like he could be Bray Wyatt's little brother. He had the whole long locks and everything. I was like, well, when did he get hair? When did that happen? Like that. I do like the aspect of it. Eric Rowan. I don't know if Eric Rowan is like 8 foot tall or if what's my boy's name? Gacy. Joe Gacy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just that short because when he stood next to Eric Rowan towers him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I've stood next to Eric Rowan before. He wasn't that much taller. He was taller than I was, but he didn't tower me like he did Joe Gacy.
Like Rowan is probably like 6'4", 6'5", right. But right. Gacy, that might be one of those we're gonna bill him at 6 foot, but he's really 5'10", 5'9".
Right. Absolutely.
But speaking of Joe Gacy, I don't think he's appreciated. I don't. If you look at where he comes from and being this like CZW deathmatch tournament guy to all the different kind of roles he played on NXT, from being this crazy person to this like happy-go-lucky deranged guy to what he's doing now, is like this guy has a lot of range and he's adapted to that style incredibly well. But maybe that's a product of CZW guys being able to transition incredibly well to a television product, which at times defies logic. But it's like Dean Ambrose, right? Like he was the deathmatch guy. He was able to transition so easily to that television product, and Gacy's doing the same thing, and it's just very, very cool. And like, I really appreciate him because he's incredible.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of these guys, the advantage that they have is that they understand cinema. And this is the cinematic era. This isn't a PG era. This isn't an attitude era. This isn't a I love you era. This is the cinematic era. From everything that they've done from top to bottom since the farewell to our we all know his name. We always
I love this idea that everyone has collectively agreed that we're just not going to say his name. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We appreciate everything he's done up to now, and now we got the reins and we're taking control over it. Speaking of control, let's move on to our next match. It's going to be Becky Lynch and Nia Jax.
That's Bayley and Nia Jax.
Oh yes, Bayley and Nia Jax.
Don't you besmirch Bayley, okay?
Look, BBL Bayley. My bad, BBL Bayley. My bad. I'm sorry. Sorry, baby. I miss you. I love you.
She's my favorite. Absolute favorite thing that they have going right now. She's incredible. I don't quite understand why Nia Jax is still employed at all. To be honest, I don't get it. I don't see what people smarter than me see. But maybe that's why they're smarter than me and get paid lots and lots of money to see talent. But maybe you can explain it to me. What is the appeal of Nia Jax? She seems if we relate it to an independent level, let's relate it to North Carolina. If someone worked the same, had the same reckless approach, was hurting people that way, she would not get booked because people would not be comfortable working her. And she has such a track record of hurting people that I don't necessarily understand why she's consistently getting these positions to do this.
And we both know somebody on the independents that has had this type of reputation. We both know somebody in the women's division. Mm-hmm. We're not her name. We're not gonna put any dirt on anybody's name. But yeah, I don't understand. The only thing I can think of is the ideal of body positivity.
Okay.
That could be the only thing I could think of why Nia Jax is still there, because she's the only one that looks the way she does.
Yeah.
Woman. But her size is what's keeping her there, because she's the only one there. And you know, they always say you have to be different from everybody else. And that's what makes her different, is that her size. That could be the only thing that I could think of, because it's definitely not the in-ring ability. And she has had moments of hurting people. Does Bayley walk out still the champion? Absolutely.
Yeah.
She has to, because we have to have the match with her and Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
When does Tiffany Stratton cash in, though?
So I think I know when she's going to cash in. I don't like it, and I think it's going to be at SummerSlam. I think Bayley's going to win with some inside package, some roll-up, because she has to. If it's Nia Jax, it has to be some kind of cradle situation. Then Nia Jax is just going to beat the crap out of her, and then Tiffany Stratton is going to cash in. I think that's how that goes, because, again, I think this is the show where they're trying to show that things are different. This is a new era. This is Triple H's, not his first SummerSlam, but, we're heading into this Netflix era where things are a little more edgy, a little different, and I think he really wants to showcase that, this is new talent taking the reins, because I think by the end of this night, I mean, you're going to have Braun Breaker, you're going to have LA Knight, you're going to have possibly Tiffany Stratton, you're going to have Liv Morgan as potential champions here. And this is their new crop of people that they're going to build with for the next 15 years. And for the last 10 years, it's been this question of who are they going to turn to? It seemed like they couldn't create a star to save their life. And on one night, you could create 4 new stars.
Absolutely. But I think if she cashes in SummerSlam, that leaves us with no money in the bank cashing for the rest of the year. So there's no surprise factor. Only thing that we could think of that could possibly happen would be title changes. That would be the thing that we would be looking forward to is, okay, could this title possibly change hands at this PLE or during this Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or on an NXT? Because everything's going crazy on NXT. Everything is possible on NXT now. NXT has been blowing up and has been on fire. But I don't want to segue into that yet. I definitely want to stay on the SummerSlam bandwagon. And speaking of bandwagons, we have Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa.
You leave him alone.
I love Cody Rhodes. I love him. Look, I cannot talk bad about Cody Rhodes because my son will beat me up, and I don't want that smoke. Okay, that is his favorite WWE wrestler. I am his favorite wrestler of all time because I'm his dad, and I'm amazing, and I like to fight. But Cody Rhodes is his favorite WWE wrestler. This story has been for me.
I don't like it, but I just don't buy Solo Sikoa in this role. I think they tried it. It did not hit the mark. And I think he's the only part of that faction that doesn't work for me.
It went too fast.
Yeah, they were trying to build up this new thing very quickly when the Bloodline story was always so organic and so slow build. It's a 9-inning game. And it's like, well, let's put everyone in the first inning. But who they put in, I think, is incredible. I mean, the Gorillas of Destiny, like, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Jacob Fatu, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But Solo Sikoa is not awesome. He's okay. Like, I think if you put Jacob Fatu in that spot, and you couldn't, I understand why you couldn't. But I think if he's in that spot, you believe, like, if you were role reversed him and everything Solo Sikoa was doing, you had Jacob Fatu do. I think that's compelling. I think that's exciting. I think you believe he could beat Cody Rhodes.
I think what they did was they put everyone in someone else's spot. So they filled the spots of the old bloodline. That's what they pretty much did. But they did it with Solo too fast because he came from whose once was Jacob Fatu, who's what Jacob Fatu is now. That's what Solo Sikoa's role was at one point. And now he's Roman Reigns. And now he's having to talk more and give commands and give go do this and go do that. He wasn't ready for that. Roman Reigns, it took him a long time to get to that point of being able to do that. You can't throw Solo Sikoa in there off the cuff of him never really saying anything the entire time he was in the bloodline. Now he's doing all the talking. Now he's this tough man. He's the godfather, or the head of the table, the tribal chief. Like they did that way too fast. I think if they did something to where Paul Heyman still did the talking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And like, I can't hate on them for making the choice for them to turn on Paul, because that was great television. That was if Paul Heyman never does another thing in his life, he goes out great. But I think they needed a mouthpiece. Solo Sikoa needs a mouthpiece. Roman didn't necessarily need it, but he had it. Solo needs it. He's not great. But so any interest in this match to me is very much carried by Cody Rhodes. I mean, because of his history with the bloodline, this feels like a hat on a hat, because it's like, I feel like we've done this already. Mm-hmm. And it feels like we've done this recently. But what I think will happen here is Cody wins. There's tomfoolery, and then I think The Rock comes back here at the very end of the show, and they have a stare down. I think that's kind of the only thing that saves this, and I don't know where Solo Sikoa would go from there.
Solo would have to go ahead and start working towards the whole tribal chief thing with Roman Reigns. I think that would have to be that situation. But let's not forget Jimmy Uso.
Ooh.
play a role in this.
That'd be cool.
It's about time for Jimmy to come back. He could play a role in this, and that is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you could really spark a story here if he is a factor, and then that involves everyone else, and maybe that involves Jey Uso making the save, and you get the Usos back together, that'd be awesome. And maybe there's a big situation there, and maybe that's where The Rock comes back to try to, because if you're having all these run-ins, that's when it gets really cool, I think. And that's when I think a entrance from The Rock would be awesome, because it's like, oh, he's here. Oh shit, he's here.
Absolutely. And I think if they do it the way I see it, let's say Cody Rhodes does win, right? And he moves on. He moves on to Randy Orton. Cody Rhodes moves on to Randy Orton. That's right there. It's written on the wall. Because Randy has said, as long as you're the champion, I'm going to have your back. Because he wants that title. He wants to make sure that no one else takes that belt off of him but him. Yeah. We already see that. Cool. I like that story. I'm invested in that. I can't wait to see how that plays out. Jimmy Uso comes out in SummerSlam, gets involved, costs Solo the title, causes a situation where they're constantly jumping him some kind of way every week. Maybe the first 3 weeks, he gets away. He comes in, he does something to Solo, he gets away. He does something to Tonga, and he gets away. But at some point, he gets caught, he gets jumped. Here comes Jay. Jay comes in, he saves the day. The brothers reunite. The following week, they come out, they do their thing. It's the Usos, whatever. The bloodline comes out, they surround them, they shield beat them down. They have a match. The Usos versus the Gorillas of Destiny.
That's a money dream. It's a dream match. That's what it is.
Yes. The Usos lose. There's a big jumping happening. The Rock comes out.
That's good.
The Rock comes out. Everyone's standing there. No one knows what's going to happen. The Rock gives the signal. The bloodline jumps the Usos again. That plays into Roman Reigns coming back even more and even bigger. Because now it's like, yo, you were supposed to be the boss to the tribal chief. This guy's pretending to be the tribal chief, and he's calling me out. And you're siding with him. Now I got to come get you. Now I have to come. And now we have Roman Reigns, The Rock. There's that feud, that whole fusion. That plays all the way into WrestleMania for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. And I think in between, you have to make that stop at Survivor Series and do that Bloodline War Games match that the internet is obsessed with the idea of. And I think there, because you would have Solo. I don't think The Rock competes in this.
No.
But I think Roman does. So you have Solo, you have the Gorillas of Destiny, and you have Jacob Fatu, and then you have Roman, you have the Usos. I think you throw Sami Zayn in there too, because he's part of the bloodline. And I think that they'll get a crazy babyface reaction and really cement this run for Roman as this is he's gone full circle. He's back to being a babyface, but a beloved babyface.
And I think a lot of the fans have been trying to say Zilla. I don't think we need another member of the family. We don't need another member of the family, because then it just becomes a bloodline show. You know, it cancels everybody else's matches. It's just all about them and what they have going on. So I don't think we need another member of the family. I think we definitely do need Sami Zayn in that whole War Games match. That would be amazing. Can't wait to see how that all plays out. So we will find out this Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern on the Peacock app when WWE presents Summer.
Question for you. Is Armando Estrada still around?
He is somewhere.
They should bring him in to be the voice of the bloodline. I think that would be fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. And then we have the battle of the mics between Armando Estrada and Paul Heyman.
That'd be great.
That is money right there, just from the talking aspect. You ain't gotta even see nobody touch each other. Just see them those two get on the mic and go back and forth. Would be amazing. And speaking of getting on the mic and going back and forth, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there. It's a little different from everything. John Cena, stop ducking me, bro. Stop ducking me. I'm not going away. I'm going to keep calling you out. It's nothing to be nervous about. It's nothing to be scared about. It's not like I'm opposing to you, because we all know how afraid you are with marriage. We all know. I'm not proposing. I'm just saying, just give me the match that I'm asking for. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just give me the match. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
And a reminder to everyone watching, this podcast is brought to you by Nature Made Multivitamin Gummies. If you want to challenge John Cena to a match on a podcast, take those gummies. It'll give you the confidence to do something like that.
I'm going to get that match. I'm going to get that match. I'm going to keep putting promos up. He's going to see. R-Truth saw it. And
Did he really?
And he liked it on Instagram. That right there spoke volumes to me, because I'm like, if he shows it to John Cena, all I gotta do is keep saying shit. That's it. I'm just gonna keep saying stuff. Eventually, something's gonna trigger. When I dropped this promo about him not stepping in the ring with me and being afraid because he's afraid of proposals, he would have no choice but to respond, right?
Tell me this: if you know, okay, if he liked one of these promos, right? If he go on social media and just liked it, would that be a win for you?
No.
That you would feel seen from the man we can't see?
No. He needs to see me. He needs to see me in that ring between those ropes. I'm not just taking I like this. This is a cool promo. No.
Okay.
Say yes or no, so I can mollywop you. Say yes or no. If you say no, I'm going to go in. If you say yes, I'm going to go in. Either way, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Would you fight him in the suit?
Yes.
Okay.
I would discredit myself if I did not beat John Cena in a suit. Like I said, when you see me walk to the ring in a suit, just know I'm standing on business. But the moment the shirt comes off, business is about to get handled. That's it.
You should really get that on a t-shirt.
I am. I'm working on it. Money's
well, for sure. And there was one match we did not cover here, and that is the Logan Paul against LA Knight match. This is just where you put the belt on LA Knight. Just do it. I'm tired of waiting. I think it's the biggest drop ball of Triple H's time as a booker of the main roster. Is not just LA Knight is the most popular wrestler in that company. Bar none. He's the best talker. He's a genuine star. Logan Paul has had a cool run. I mean, he's done his job well. He's brought a lot of exposure to the brand to those who would not see the brand. And you do want the smoke with John Cena. But LA Knight wants the smoke from Logan Paul. He wants the U.S. title here. I think he just wins it here. I think it's going to be a great match. It might be the best match of the show because Logan Paul, he's really good. He is very, very talented. I don't think there's ever been someone who transitioned so easily into it other than a Kurt Angle And you could even argue, no one talks about how good Pat McAfee was in the ring. He was really good. But it's that kind of energy of like, this guy has no right to be this good.
Absolutely. And he's had some really big, memorable moments. Will he have a big, memorable moment with LA Knights? It's possible. I think this match definitely transcends LA Knight to a higher standard as long as he wins the belt.
Yeah, I think he has to win here. Or if he doesn't win here, like, just release the guy. Let him go do something on someone else's TV because it's time.
Yeah.
You got to do something with him. You might as well give him the run that everyone wants him to have.
Absolutely. And I think for me, Logan Paul, when he first came out, I didn't like him. I was like, come on, like serious. We got all these guys on independence that's really killing ourselves to get looked at, and you grab this guy because he's a YouTube sensation. Whatever. But he's changed my mind on a lot of different things because the way he actually dedicates himself to learning the craft. So that way when he gets in the ring, he knows exactly what he's doing. He does not make our stuff look horrible. Okay.
Did you see the comparison Mark Henry put out about Logan Paul? He said he reminds him of a young Owen Hart. Which I love that comparison. Like, I really do, because smooth in the ring wise, like how it's just the second drive that you don't see out of a lot of guys. Like I love the Owen comparison, but I'm a big Owen Hart guy. I prefer Owen over Brett, which does mean I prefer Owen over Shawn Michaels. But I love that comparison. I think Logan Paul, he's just a freak. Him and his brother, like, both, when they set their mind to do something, and I'm not a big fan of their content per se. I'm not a big fan of them as people, but I am a big fan of their drive and ambition to be the very best at anything they do. And that's what they've done. They are a success story. If nothing else, they have set out to do everything they've said to do. I mean, Jake Paul has his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson, which is insane that we live in a world where Logan Paul is defending championships in the WWE and Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson.
Hope he gets knocked out.
I hope so too.
First round knocked out.
Just walk right out. Boom, done. Everyone goes home happy. Everyone made millions of dollars. Like,
that's it. But I can see Logan Paul going to NXT.
I think that could be cool.
That would definitely be cool. Logan Paul versus Trick Williams would be amazing.
Can you imagine Logan Paul against our good friend Jay Malachi? Can you imagine that with how bouncy both of them are?
For those who don't know him by Jay Malachi, on NXT, his name is Javon Evans. Javon Evans and Logan Paul would be the biggest money match you would ever
It would be the most athletic match you have ever seen. Like, eat your hearts out, Ricochet and Will Ospreay. This would be insane. And it hasn't come to me till this moment, but I don't think there's a match I ever want to see more.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I don't know what Ricochet is doing yet. I don't know if he's went somewhere else or he may be back in Japan doing some things. But when he comes back to WWE, I need a Javon Evans and a Ricochet match.
The sad thing is, I don't know if we'll ever get it. Like, truly, because Ricochet, his contract went out. He did not want to come back. I think he'll go to AEW, but Javon might have a very long career. So, I mean, I think that's something we will see in the future. Because it'd just be cool. It would just, like, the fan in me is like, give me that 1,000 times. And once in the existence of a television product, give me Jay Malachi and Jackson Drake just once. The fan in me needs it.
Yes, absolutely. Is that all the matches? I think we covered all the matches.
Yeah, that is all the matches as of the 31st. We have a few days to go, so I would not be surprised if they added something, maybe stuff in the pre-show to defend some of those tag titles. because this show, every title is being defended, but the tag titles. Feels very much like a Night of Champions situation, but on SummerSlam. But I'm here for it. That's why people tune in for title changes and to see what happens. I think we're going to get quite a few title changes here.
Absolutely. But real quick before we sign off, I do want to talk about NXT and the TNA merger. Man,
so cool.
Man. Now, here's the thing. I've been saying for years and years and years, I've been saying every time on this podcast, people always say, oh, AEW is taking WWE's talent, TNA is taking AEW's talent, They all work together. They've been working together for years. It's just the controversy creates cash. I don't like you. You don't like me. We're going to keep fighting for these ratings. But at the end of the day, we're working together because we're all billionaires. We all got money. You can't take one con over here and another con over here and not think that they're not talking to each other. They're cousins or something. They got to be related in some kind of way, okay? But I do enjoy this entire thing with NXT and TNA.
I think Joe Hendry might be the biggest star in the world right now. Do you not like Joe Hendry?
I don't like Joe Hendry.
You don't believe in Joe Hendry?
I didn't believe when they were talking about it with the Candyman. I didn't believe when they did it with Beetlejuice. And I don't believe with Joe Hendry. Okay? I don't believe that just saying a man's name, he appears. Like, where is he at? Joe Hendry. Do I need to stand in the mirror? Do I need to hold up a rosary or something? Like, and he said it. He was not a wrestler from the jump. He was a rock star, a musician or something. And then he happened to get into wrestling, and nothing clicked until he started doing his music even more. Mm-hmm. So you're just a musician who had a very cool song, and then flashed a smile, and you got all this praise. And
one of the biggest stars to come out of the UK in a long time. He was doing this gimmick in What Culture Pro Wrestling when that was around, and did very, very cool stuff. Did some cool stuff in Ring of Honor. Now I'm doing cool stuff in TNA. The thing about him is I just think he's just so good, and he has this charisma that people really latch on to. But what's cool is Joe Hendry's popping up everywhere, even here in the Carolinas. That might be the match to go for. Maybe we take that little clip of you talking some smack about Joe Hendry, we throw that online, and we see if we can manifest and find out.
If I step in the ring with Joe Hendry, you won't believe ever again. I'm just going ahead and put it out there. You won't ever believe, because I'm going to exploit him. I'm going to knock him out with this PYT, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of it. That's as simple as that.
Well, I, for one, would love to see it. And, I mean, that punch is powered by Nature's Made, correct? Nature's Made that you can find in any local retailer nearby?
Absolutely. Your CVS, your Walgreens, your Walmart, your Food Lion, your Harris Teeter, anywhere in the world. You can go and get your Nature Made multi for him or multi for her gummies.
I mean, a lot of people believe in Joe Hendry, but we all believe in Nature's Made multi for him and her gummy vitamins.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you to our sponsors. Man, it has been an amazing, amazing show. Brother, I really appreciate you being up here and helping me out today. But while the fellas are taking care of things, tell everyone what your social media is and where can they find you and what you got coming up.
Yeah. My social media on both Instagram and Twitter, I still call it Twitter, is Holy Toledo Drive. And you can also give a follow to Newborn Wrestling, which is this exciting new venture. We have some matches lined up with different promotions. On August 10th, we have this awesome match where the Infinite Man Tim is taking on Merrick Donovan in this cross-promotional match that I'm very, very excited about. There was this awesome video that I put together to hype that up, and that seemed to really resonate with some people, and it got major traction, which I'm very excited about. And we have the Integrity Championship Entertainment tag team tournament coming up, where NBW has 2 different teams being part of that being Trey Havoc and Jack Tatum, as well as the Trendsetters being Pretty Boy Lane and Cass and Kane. Very exciting. We are building the foundation of something that could be very, very special. And this has been so special, man. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Letting me plug Nature's Made way too many times. And talk some wrestling, because ultimately, like, that's what this platform is about, is talking about passions, and wrestling has been a shared passion for both me and you, and I'm just grateful that you've been along for my wrestling journey the past few years. So thank you so much for having me on your show.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I am Roosevelt, the guy that likes to fight. And of course, you guys can follow my Instagram at Roosevelt Pro Fighter. And then you can also Roosevelt the Fighter. Is it Roosevelt?
See, that's what happens when you change your social media.
Changes so much, bro. Like, I'm trying to make sure that it fits the way it's supposed to. And I want to say it's Roosevelt the Fighter. Let's just put it like that. Roosevelt the Fighter. Of course, you can follow my TikTok. Follow my TikTok at official_ Mr. Everything. I do have to change.
Because Misery does like company.
Misery does love company. Yes.
Go to his TikTok to get that deep cut.
That video. Go and see that video. I was on 1,000 a day. My brain was like on Megamind today.
Next level.
Next level. And of course, you guys can follow the show. And to follow the show, you go to our Instagram at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, our Facebook group at Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Go to our Facebook page, the BD Wrestling Podcast. Go to our X or Twitter at the Best Damn Crew. Go to our Twitch, the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Go to our TikTok, the way Brian would say it, at the Best Damn Wrestling Crew. And go to our website where we got all kinds of merchandise at the www.bestdamnwrestlingstore.com. Go and get you some shirts. Go get some mugs. Go get you a hat. Go get a little bib for the babies. We got bibs for babies, okay? We got all kinds of merchandise and things of that nature. You can also go to our Patreon if you like to help the boys out, because we need money. We like money around here. We need some. You know, we got some things coming up. So if you want to go to our Patreon, go to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/thebestdamnwrestlingpodcast. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, we can't hold you no more. Real quick, we want to thank our sponsors: Nature Made, Marriott Bonvoy, Brick House Nutrition, Fanatics, Idlecam, Orlando Vacations, and we have so much more.
Eyeglasses.com, Tour Hub, Phoenix Foodies, and Hilton Honors, just a few that are mentioned down below. And like a podcast with sponsors, this is cool.
Yes.
I feel like I just graduated.
It's always graduation time around here. So before we end the show, we have this thing where we give our final thoughts and our final messages, kind of like a word of positivity to get the people to get through their day, their week. They may be having a bad day, they may be having a good day, but we want to leave them with something absolutely phenomenal. So, my man Christian, what is your final word of the day?
Well, I'll put it like this, and this comes from like a little bit of a personal story. Life can be a lot sometimes, guys. Like, it can truly be a lot, and it can stack on itself, and you can very much feel like you're batting from behind. But it's okay to lean on your friends. It's okay to lean on your family. it's okay if you don't have a great support system to reach out to people. You will never know what people might do to help you. You truly never know. And know it's just a moment, and you will get through it, and you will be better for it. And I mean, everyone wants everyone to succeed, I think, deep down. And I would just say to always keep pushing, only a day.
Absolutely. And that was your final word for our man, Christian Rainey. And my final word for today: if you can't be good at it.
That's
it.
good.
Can't be good at it.
I didn't realize we were going for iconic.
Everything takes practice. Everything takes patience. Everything takes a will, a drive, and a level of determination to get to your goal. Sometimes we may be good at what we do. Sometimes we may be bad at what we do. But we'll get there. That was the final word from your boy, Roosevelt. Was that a final word? Was that a good final word, bro?
I mean, I felt it right here. Not just the chest, but the heart, which is somewhere over here, actually. But yes, that
I was always, as far as I can remember, the heart was like on the left side, right? Because we always go to pledge allegiance. But it's actually right there. It's right there in the middle.
Really?
Yes. It's in the middle. It's not over here. It's in the middle of the chest. I don't know what multiverse we walked through where it's changed, because I've always told it was over here.
It might be one of those Mandela effect things that we believe one thing, and then the timeline said, that's not true.
It has to be. Because if I can remember, every time a vampire got stabbed in the heart, it was always on the left side.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's being told that it's in the middle of the chest, which is very weird, because there's not that much room there. There's not a lot of room there.
And but something that isn't very weird is at your local retailer, you can still pick up Nature Made Multi for him and her gummy vitamins. And I think that's the word of the day, if any, is get those vitamins. Get big and strong, like Mr. Everything over here.
Absolutely, you have to get big and strong. You need to take care of your heart. You need a multi for him and multi for her vitamins. Sponsored by Nature Made. Ladies and gentlemen, Best Damn Nation. I'm gonna let you sign us off. I'm gonna say we'll see you next time on the next best. And I want you to give me and the rest of the world your best damn that you could ever say. Like I want to feel it from the bowels of your gut, just as hard as you can.
Okay, I'm gonna say it like I mean it. It might not be what you expect. Okay.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Best Damn Nation. We will see you next time on the next Best
Damn
Wrestling Podcast. Christian, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Will we see you next week?
I mean, I think we might be able to make that happen.
We will definitely make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will see you next time. Signing off, we bid you adieu. Hold on, gotta end it. Okay, that's not the ending. Hold on. I'm almost there. That's not it either. Hold on. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. I'm letting all these buttons, okay? There's a lot of buttons.
I think this is a separate.